Hi everybody, it's Dara, and I am in the middle of, entrenched in love with Thanksgiving food preparations. And I would say most of the time over the past 3 days that I have been extremely happy with what I've been doing, except for sometimes when I was preparing food by myself and it felt lonely and weird because Thanksgiving was always preparing food with my mom. But then Gage showed up and Eric showed up and Jada was preparing with me today. So I'm really happy to say that Thanksgiving is in the air. And so what I'm up to right now is I have I made 2 batches of cranberry sauce. So it's dates, a little bit of lemon juice, cranberries, fresh organic cranberries, and it has a couple chunks of pineapple blended in, and then that gets mixed in with already cubed. Thanks so much to my amazing assistant, Gage. He's incredible. I highly recommend having somebody help you, whether it's a child, father, mother, brother, lover, somebody. Beautifully, so this is the pineapple, okay? And what happens is that the sweetness of the pineapple will be blended in with the mandarin. And the big decision that you have to make when doing raw food is what do you do when? So this was cut up this morning, and I was going to blend it all today's Wednesday, the day of Thanksgiving, but you can blend in the fruit with the cranberries. You don't want to blend in the walnuts because the walnuts will get soggy. So I'm going to blend all the fruit together, put them back in the jars. That way I'll see how the proportion is with the fruit that I've cut. And then tomorrow, right before, I will mix in the walnuts. So these are little mandarin, Satsuma mandarin oranges from the farmer's market, and it smells so beautiful. And I think that the biggest thing about making a raw food meal, any kind of family preparation that's raw vegan, is what do you do when? Your timing. It's like you can get to be creative, and you also get to really use your brain because you have to think about the timing of things. What do you want to be warm when? What comes out of the dehydrator when? When do you start soaking? What you first think about is what nuts and seeds do I need for when? You first think about how long something might need to be dehydrated for. And then a day before that, you start soaking the nuts and seeds. So it's really, really interesting. Don't be upset if you have a perceived mistake. Just keep going. Perseverance is the name of the game. Play is the name of the game, and making sure, the trick is with raw food really, since it's not going to be cooked and it will not change once it leaves the food processor, really. It might get warmed, it might get, the dehydrator, but really what happens is you have to start, I should be using a longer spatula. You start thinking about, if it tastes good right out of the food processor, it will taste good on somebody's dish. If it doesn't taste good, like you want to keep eating it, then there's no point taking it out of the processor. So you have to figure out how to make it taste good while you're actually creating. And so I'll blend all this up, but I really just want to say that it is an enormous amount of work, but we have to remember that the days where food was the most important thing to us, like we lived in an area that had abundant and nutritious food. If there wasn't abundant and nutritious food, we would move on. We would move our whole family. So, food doesn't need to be an afterthought, and it doesn't need to be enormously time-consuming, but it definitely needs to be forefront on our minds. How can we get the most beautiful, the most delicious and nutritious food into our systems and take it a step further, feed it to the people we love? I can't tell you how many places you can go out to eat and the food is just not going to be quality food. The oils won't be the finest, the fruit won't be the finest. When you pick out that fruit or that produce that looks good to you, you know that that is a beautiful, vibrant piece of food that was chosen. It was grown with love, chosen with love, prepared with love. So I am all for making food at home, for sure. So this is just absolutely beautiful. It smells beautiful. This will go really nicely with the chewy bread that we made, and with the mashed potatoes and the turkey nut loaf. I know you guys saw, if you didn't see, the video that I made for the no turkey loaf, it actually, what I did for the next batch was I added some psyllium husk and blended it really fine and then made a loaf of that. It came out perfect. So if I were to add anything to the nut loaf recipe, the turkey one, I would add a little bit of psyllium husk, and it just, wow, and blend it really fine, and then when you slice it, it's just gorgeous. So just keep going. Have fun with your food. Have fun with your families. I love you guys. Get your greens on.